Hello, back again on the Top Recap channel. This time I will tell the storyline of the movie entitled Hypnotic. Let's get straight into the storyline. The story begins by showing a detective named Danny Rourke, who is doing a hypnotherapy session to recall the moment on the day when he lost his precious daughter Minnie. On that day, he was accompanying Minnie, playing in the park. But just a moment after turning away, Danny suddenly lost his daughter. Upon that incident, a suspect named Lyle Terry was arrested. However, the perpetrator was soon released as he had no memory of the incident. The session ends when Danny receives a message from his partner Nick. They just received a phone call from a woman reporting that there will be a robbery at the Austin Bank for deposit box number 23.
Is that the target?
From inside the car, they monitor any suspicious movements around the bank. Amidst the bustle of the city, a woman sat next to a man named Del Rain. After only a moment of conversation, Del Rain said it was very hot today and left the woman. Instantly, the woman felt very hot and immediately undressed and went to the fountain to cool her body. Meanwhile, Del Rain talked to two security guards in front of the bank and went inside. Danny immediately went inside the bank to find out what was inside deposit box number 23. Danny went inside with a guard, opened deposit box number 23, and found Minnie's picture. Meanwhile, Del Rain, who had just arrived in front of the bank teller, only said it was already afternoon. The teller immediately closed all services and went with two hypnotized policemen to the deposit box room and took the deposit box that Danny had previously opened. They then left in a car. But she purposely crashed the car on the way until it rolled over and became unconscious. That's when Del Rain came and took the deposit box from the bank teller's hand. Del Rain also put an explosive bomb to create chaos in the place. Along with two of his police colleagues, Danny chased Del Rain to the top of the building.
Hands up, asshole! Don't move!
But during the arrest, Del Rain said they caught the wrong person, so the two officers lost control of their minds.
Blame them, detective.
At that time, Del Rain said the two officers had lost consciousness like Lyle Terry. After hearing that, Danny realized that the man in front of him was the perpetrator who had kidnapped his daughter. Suddenly, the two officers shot each other, which made them both dead on the spot. Del Rain used the opportunity to run away. Long story short, they started tracking the number of the woman who had reported the planned robbery at the Austin Bank, and they managed to trace the woman's number, which led to a woman named Diana, who worked as a hypnotherapist. That night, Diane was conducting a hypnotherapy session with a man. When Danny arrived, Diana ended the hypnotherapy session to give Danny time. Outside, without realizing it, Del Rain came approaching the customer. Meanwhile, Danny introduces himself, and his intention is to arrest Diana.
Station with me.
Am I under arrest?
No.
Then get out.
But they were surprised by Diana's hypnotized customer, who drove his motorcycle quickly and smashed the shop door. The customer then ends his life. Danny then takes Diana to the interrogation room for questioning. There, Diana explained how the hypnosis used by Del Rain worked. Del Rain controls a person's mind and makes his victims forget what has happened, making it possible that no one will remember the incident or even the existence of Del Rain himself. Nick, who does not believe in hypnosis, challenges Diana to hypnotize him. And in a short time, Diana immediately hypnotized Nick and told him to get out immediately. Seeing that Danny was a little surprised that Diana's hypnotic ability that could make Nick follow Diana's orders. But Diana asked Danny to calm down because Diana had tried to hypnotize Danny, but it didn't work. Because Danny has a naturally created psychic barrier in his subconscious, where the pain of losing Minnie makes Danny's mind always alert. Even so, Del Rain has a higher hypnotic ability than Diana, making it possible for Del Rain's hypnosis to affect Danny's mind. Meanwhile, Del Rain tries to hypnotize Nick.
Stay here.
A moment later, Nick returns to the police station. Nick pulled out a gun, so Danny had to immobilize him. Then Danny handcuffed Nick, but that couldn't stop Nick, who continued to try to attack Danny. Diana then shot Nick, killing him on the spot. Diana said that Nick would not stop before completing the orders given by Del Rain. Because of this incident, Danny and Diana became fugitives from the police because they were accused of being the perpetrators who had killed Nick. Soon, an officer arrived and knew their whereabouts. Diana immediately asked him to stop and said the suspects had gone north.
This is Tex DPS calling to report 2 fugitives.
When they got out, Del Rain was waiting to catch them. Fortunately, Danny managed to distract Del Rain and gave Diana the opportunity to go get the car. Then they fled to Mexico to meet Diana's mentor named Jeremiah.
Help us catch him.
They asked Jeremiah for help to catch Delrain. There Jeremiah said that Delrain had the ambition to become the strongest among them. That's why Delrain stole a device called Domino. Domino is a tool made in their lab that can control anyone. After stealing the Domino, Delrain erased all his memories to prevent them from knowing what Delrain had done to the Domino. But before erasing all his memories, Delrain has left a trigger in his subconscious, leading Delrain to regain all his memories. Instantly, Danny took out a photo of Minnie, which might be a clue left by Delrain. At that time, Jeremiah seemed to insist on seeing the photo, so Diana began to suspect Jeremiah. And it turns out that her suspicions were proven, that the man in front of them was not Jeremiah, but Delrain, who created an illusion for Danny and Diana. They immediately run away. Upon arriving outside, it turns out that most of the townspeople have been affected by Delrain's hypnosis, until finally, they were cornered with no way to escape anymore. At that time, Danny tried to survive when Delrain tried to control his consciousness. Danny resisted, and suddenly, all the officers turned their guns on Delrain. The officers then took Delrain to the police station. Danny feels strange about what happened, and starts asking questions about who he really is. To answer that, Diana brings Danny to River. They opened Danny's identity data, and his wife named Vivian. This is where Danny finds out that his wife is a secret agent. Later that night, when Diana and River are asleep, Danny opens Diana's file and discovers that Diana has another name, Vivian, and Diana is his real wife. While the woman he had in his mind all this time was just an illusion planted in his mind. Danny then searches for Domino's name, and discovers that Domino is another name for his daughter Minnie. Minnie or Domino has the most powerful power among all hypnotists. Because she was born from both parents who have hypnotic powers. Danny recalled when he argued with Diana because Diana wanted Minnie to be taken to the division to develop her potential. But Danny, who wants his daughter to live a normal life, disagrees. Instead, he took Minnie or Domino away from the division members. Danny then erased all his own memories to eliminate traces and prevent them from knowing the place where he hid Domino. Danny finally realizes that everything that happened to him is not real. Maybe even this place is just an illusion. It wasn't long before Diana approached. Danny soon realized he was in a room with Diana, Nick, and several people he had seen. Meanwhile, Delrain is a division head working on a project to develop Domino's potential. What happened to Danny was an illusion in the reconstruction process they created to unlock Danny's memories. The goal is to find out the whereabouts of Domino or Minnie. After the failure of this illusion, they intend to reorganize the next illusion experiment. They immediately reset Danny and restart the cycle, beginning with him waking up in the therapy room.
Sorry.
Your daughter?
Right.
Nick then takes him to resolve a bank robbery.
I'm calling to report a robbery.
While taking notes, Danny remembers the street name he has implanted as a trigger in his subconscious. Thanks to the trigger, Danny finally manages to regain consciousness. He immediately took the car and drove to pick up his daughter. But it's not simple because all the division members are chasing Danny. Upon arrival, Carl and Thelma, Danny's adopted parents, greet Danny. Inside the house, Minnie was waiting for him longingly after years of waiting for her father's arrival. Delrain soon arrived at the location, and the division's troops briefly finished off Carl and Thelma, who tried to fight back. Upon hearing that, Danny came out. He walked calmly to face Delrain and Diana, who continued to seduce him to return to the division. But Danny actually asked Diana to return to him because, according to Danny, Diana had been deceived by the illusion created by Delrain and other division members. Then Danny called Minnie. Seeing Diana, Minnie immediately hugged her mother emotionally. Minnie then tried to awaken her mother by saying that Diana and Danny worked together to take her away to escape from the division organization. Delrain was dumbfounded to realize that they had actually entered and lived in the illusion created by Minnie. This farmhouse was an illusion. Even Carl and Thelma's deaths were illusions. The two of them came to finish off all the division members without any resistance at all. They were surrounded by cliffs where there was no way out. All the division members were killed, leaving Delrain alone. With just a stare, Minnie could make Delrain lose control, so Delrain repeatedly shot himself to death. Minnie then helped her mother remember when the division members began to realize Minnie's great power. She could control anything with her mind, even with her eyes closed. This power made Delrain ambitious to have Minnie in his division. But Danny and Diana don't want to involve Minnie in the division's activities. Moreover, they want a happy family with a free life, without the division's rules always watching. Therefore, the two agreed to leave Minnie to Carl and Thelma. Then they erase all the memories by leaving clues to help them remember them. All memories have been erased except for the memory of Minnie and the instinct that they live in love with each other. So even though they were eventually caught, the division members could not find Minnie until she was old enough to control her powers. In the end, they were able to live the life they wanted. Then Danny, Diana, Minnie, and Thelma left the place by helicopter. Meanwhile, Carl will stay behind to clean up the mess. After their departure, Carl approached Delrain. Then when he raised his head, the man was Delrain, who was still alive. At the same time, the one lying on the ground was Carl, who was dead. And the movie is over. Don't forget to click subscribe, like, and comment.